Hi, thanks for coming here today. This is the Artlife YouTube channel and my name's Mrs. B. I'm here today to show you a really interesting and therapeutic kind of art lesson. What I mean by that is we're going to do some doodling. I've actually done another lesson similar to this one, which is a mindfulness lesson, which is a little bit more relaxing and helps you to really be within the moment that you're in and help to be mindful creatively. So check out that lesson. But today we're doing something a little bit different. Today is all about positivity and thinking of things that inspire you and make you feel happy. We're then going to use those things to put them into a creative doodle. Now, doodling is a fantastic way of relaxing. It's awesome with your art skills and it helps you to think creatively. This is my artwork, however, I expect that yours will look really different because the things that inspire you and things that help you to feel happy might be different to what mine are. So come with me today and I'll guide you through a beginner's tutorial when it comes to creative doodling.
Okay, welcome to today's doodling task. Now, the purpose of today is to think positively, draw some positive things that come to your mind, and really just relax while drawing. And I'm going to teach you some strategies to do that. Now, doodling, it just really means that you're having a go at drawing. Sometimes these little doodles could be little characters, they could be little images, it might be mainly made up of words and phrases. I used to actually create doodles that were more so lines and patterns rather than anything else. And so the artwork can be quite abstract. But doodling is such a fantastic thing for kids and adults because it's a fantastic way to relax. It actually helps to stay focused, and it's been proven to help with retaining information and grasp new concepts. So I actually used to draw or doodle when my English teacher, the wonderful Mrs. Buckmaster in Year 12, was talking all about English, and for me to actually help to concentrate and stay focused on, I was listening to her voice, but I would be drawing at the same time, and that helped me to actually retain the information that she was giving me for my English class. Doodling also helps us to obviously think really creatively, and it uses a part of our brain that's really important to delve into. And it can ease anxiety because it helps us to stop, helps us to breathe, and just helps us to relax. So let me guide you on a relaxing sort of doodling task. Today, all you need is a piece of paper and a pen. Now, I have a waterproof pen. The reason I'm using a waterproof pen today is because I want to add colour with watercolours later. And if I used a pen that was not waterproof, the water would make my beautiful drawing just go into a splatty kind of mess. So that's why I'm using a waterproof one today. You can just use any old pen if you're wanting to add colour just with some pencils. So really this task is fantastic based on whatever you have at home.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Now, the first thing I would like you to do for this guided drawing task is draw 3 dots. Now, these 3 dots can be anywhere on your paper. Okay, I want you to please now draw some lines coming out from the dots. And they should be parallel. So that means that the lines aren't touching. Don't need a ruler for this, just do your best. Now, the thing about doodling is that you can add detail wherever you like. For example, you could make these lines that you've just drawn a little bit thicker. You could even add an extra line, and that's an opportunity to add a pattern in there. The idea is not to rush this. It probably might take you a few days to even complete something like this, but the end product you would be very, very proud of because of the amount of time and effort you've put in. Now what we'll do is turn these lines into shapes. So I'm just going to draw, for my first one here, a bit of an arched shape. You can see there that that line has connected to both sides of my lines here, and it's turned it into a shape. Alrighty, I'm going to do the same thing for the other two. If you like, you can change up the shape like I've just done, or you might continue to do the same shape for all three for continuity. Again, you can add thickness to them, you can add patterns to them, just as you wish. This is your artwork, and so it needs to have your mark on it and your style. Wonderful. Now what these three shapes are going to do is become a part of the positivity part of this drawing. What I mean by that is, what I'd like you to consider is three positive things. Now these positive things might be words that are to build you up or to make you feel happy about yourself. For example, you might write something like, I am beautiful, to remind you that you are beautiful. I am clever. I am positive. I am strong. Anything that resonates with you, a sentence, a word, it can be literally anything, but we want to keep it positive. It might even be a goal that you're trying to work toward. And this could be a bit of a plan for reaching your goal. For example, you might write 3 things that you want to be or want to work toward becoming. You might even just do 3 things that make you happy, like sunshine, family. You can write whatever you like within these 3 shapes, but we want to keep it nice and positive. Once you've come up with what you want to write, you can have a go at drawing some really interesting fonts. You can have a look online at some interesting sort of fonts, but I'll just have a go at the moment. You might choose to do this part in a grey lead first. You might notice with this next one, I'm using the shape to dictate how big and the sort of direction of my font here. So for example, the G, I bring it all the way to the end there. So I've written 3 things that I want to remind myself of. And when I look at this artwork, they're the things that are going to stand out, being in the shapes and being words. But we're not done yet. Now that we've written some positive affirmations, some goals, something to look to for the center of this artwork, we can now fill the remainder of the paper with positive images, with lines, with patterns, and over time build up the detail so that we create a really interesting, positive doodling exercise, something we can look back onto. So I'm just going to think of some things that I find really positive. Again, the drawings don't need to be perfect, but do take your time. If you make a mistake, just try to make it look like it was meant to be there. Turn a mistake into a masterpiece, as I say. So for example, that line didn't quite work, but I've just sort of joined it up like that. So you just start off with a couple of images around the page. We can then fill in the detail around it. Remember, a neat drawing is when lines are sort of joined up like this, so take your time to make sure the lines are nice and neat. Again, the images that I draw might be different to the ones that you would like to draw. What I believe to be positive aspects of my life or things that bring me joy will be different to what brings you joy. You might choose to draw your pet or your family, which might look a little bit different to what mine is looking like. Alright, so what I've done so far is think of some images that represent things that bring me joy personally. So for example, I've got music here indicated by an iPhone and some music symbols, the sun. I really love coffee. Obviously love art and painting, so I've drawn a few painting materials here, and I love the beach, so I've drawn some shells. These symbols down here represent my family. So the love heart is me, the star is my husband, and my daughter Sadie is represented here by the crown. Her name means princess, and Delilah is here as the snowflake. Her name means delicate, so that's the symbol I've chosen for her. Rather than draw them or write their names, you can feel free to do whatever you prefer. So I've just spent some time thinking of things that bring me joy. And if some of the things are similar for you, you can choose to also use these images, but please try to think of some different things and do your best to draw them. This isn't about how good of a drawer you are or how perfect your image is. It's about tapping into things that make you happy and having a go at drawing them. So I'm not done yet though. Now that I've drawn some images, I want to go back in and add more detail. What I mean by that is I might have a go at adding some patterns wherever I can. I might go in and add some lines now to fill the space. This is only an A4 piece of paper, but there's a lot of space still. So I could continue to think of images and draw them, or I could just go in and add some more details with lines and shapes and things like that. So I'm going to spend some time. This probably will take quite a long time. So I'll just do a bit of a time lapse for you now, but have a go at creating a really detailed image that represents you. In a way, we want these images to sort of be hidden amongst all of the detail that we're going to add now. As you might be noticing, this task is not about getting it done quickly. This is something that you can do over time. I encourage you to find a comfy couch and just draw. Maybe you might choose to do it just while having the TV on of a night time, just to help you sort of relax. This is also a fantastic task for any classroom teachers that, you know, might be an early finishers kind of task that you can continue on with your positive doodling, just with any spare class time. If kids have finished their work early, it's a fantastic task that they can just sit quietly and do on their own. My dogs are helping me. Hey Taylor. Come here. You helping me draw? I hope you found your happy place doing your positive drawing as well. might ask yourself, how do I know what to draw? But it really just comes with practice, I think. It's all about sort of looking at the line that's ahead of you. So for example, I want to draw a line that sort of helps with this curve, and then I might just repeat it and then consider what type of other details I can add to make it more interesting. And I think with practice, it does become easier. Now that I've finished my extra special detailed doodling picture, you may choose to add some colour. Now you can do that with whatever you have at home, but today I'm going to use some fluorescent watercolour paints that I got from Zart, just because I think that will add an extra happy kind of colour scheme and add a bit of interest to some of the details. Now, what was really important was that I used a permanent pen. This is also from Zart, and it means that when I add water, my beautiful design is not going to be damaged, as you can see. Adding water does not change anything with the texture. So, painting little detailed areas can be just as relaxing as doodling, and I encourage you to paint with the same level of detail that you drew. Of course, it is just optional. Now, as you might notice, I've just added little hints of colour, little suggestions here and there to add to the design and help the viewer's eye to sort of move around the entire page. It will take way too long and probably distract from the artwork if I painted absolutely everything. But please notice, even though all the details are in, that these 3 affirming sentences or words are still standing out because we put them in those shapes.
So it's as simple as that. Thanks for joining me today, and I really hope that you got something out of this process art and this positive thinking doodling task. I'd love to see your outcomes, and if you'd like to tag me at Artlife Art Lessons on Facebook, it means that I'm able to see the beautiful artwork that you've been doing. Thanks again for joining me. Make sure you check out all my other videos. There are heaps of others similar to this one. So thanks for watching Artlife. I'll see you next time.